It was a clear moonlit night on the plains of northern Colorado. Tonto and I had been riding hard all day, and as evening fell, we spied a glowing campfire and smelled good brewing coffee. We drew rein and said howdy to the young cowhand who sat beside the glowing embers. He was a friendly sort, generous to a fault, and he invited us to sit and share coffee and grub with him. He was from Laredo, and his name was Tex, and he had a tuneful guitar and a mighty fine voice. That sure soothes the heart, Tex. Thank you.
When the gods of darkness descend, music is a light to see by.
Thank you, gents. More coffee? Don't mind if I do. How many head of cattle you tending here, Tex? About 100. It's a small ranch.
What name it go by?
The Lazy Horseshoe.
Good name for ranch. I like.
Owned by Cal Peters and his daughter Linda. Nice folks. How far away is the Lazy Horseshoe? About 5 miles. Grazing ain't as good closer.
This open range?
Yep. I was telling Miss Linda about that only a few days ago. Rustlers. Oh, them ain't rustlers. They're stampeding the herd again. Who? Renegade Indians. Let's go. Out there to the east.
Up, Scout.
Right, Silver. Trying to halt and turn a stampede of 100 head of cattle at night is no mean job. You want a good horse under you, a reliable partner who won't stumble or lose his head. We used our guns, our hats, our voices, every conceivable trick we knew with a horse. Luckily, the moon was bright, so things stood out and we could maneuver and dodge the thundering herd. Off in the distance, I could see a small band of Indians disappearing over our rise. They were too far away to give chase, and we had our hands full with the herd. Slowly, we got them under control, and finally we had turned them around. They were docile now, but we had to be careful.
Kemosabe, the young cowboy. He is hurt.
Tex. My legs. Help me, will you? Help me. Tex had been thrown and run over by the herd. One of his legs was broken, and the other didn't look too good. We put a splint on the broken leg, and in the morning tied him over his horse and started the slow drive back to the Lazy Horseshoe. Once there, a doctor was called, and while we waited for him, we had a powwow with the owners of the ranch, Cal Peters and his daughter Linda.
Indians? You saw them?
No, I sure did, Mr. Peters. I'll back that up. Saw them myself.
Haven't been any Indians in these parts for years.
They're Cheyenne, I tell you. That's the second time they've stampeded your herd in a month.
No Cheyenne. No Indian.
Why, Tonto?
No Cheyenne use rope like this. No Indian ride with spur like this.
Where'd you find these, Tonto?
Where cattle stampede.
He's right. They weren't Indians.
Then who did it? Who would want to stampede your cattle, Miss Peters?
Matt Matthews.
Now, we have no proof of that, Linda.
Well, who do you think's doing it, Dad? You know what he thinks about us and about the rangeland down there.
Who's Matt Matthews?
Owns a spread up north of us. The Big M, he calls it. He owns most of the land to the east and west, too. But he wants more. Always wants more and more. That's Matt Matthews. Wants everything. Been trying to scare us off our land for 2 years.
He stampede your cattle on open range?
Matt Matthews will do anything to drive us off so he can graze his own herds down there.
What do you think, Tex? I saw Indians.
You haven't been in these parts long enough, Tex. If there are any Indians at all, they're perfectly friendly.
Miss Linda, I saw Indians, and I'm telling you...
When are you going to stop calling me Miss Linda?
Miss, Peters.
The name's Linda, Tex.
What do you think, Mr. Peters?
I'm thinking I'm going to lose me a daughter pretty soon. Oh, you mean about Matt Matthews? Well, I wouldn't put it past him.
Look, Mr. Peters, I suspect Tex here is going to be laid up for some time yet. Since you're short-handed, how about taking Tonto and me on to ride range for a while?
Well, that's mighty kind of you.
No need to pay us twice. We'll act as one man. Right, Tonto?
Right, Kemosabe. You play us a song on guitar, Tex?
Oh, glad to, Tonto. Just let me get my guitar. Say, Miss Linda, where does the Big M lay in relation to you?
Right here. See on the map?
So to get to South Rangeland, must ride through this canyon.
That's right.
Longhorn Canyon. Pretty narrow, isn't it?
You can get maybe 2 riders through at a time.
Interesting. Kemosabe?
Very. A few nights later, with the moon high and almost full, Tonto and I were staked out at Longhorn Canyon. Earlier in the day, we'd led the Peterson herd through to the grazing land. They were happy and quiet, and we knew they'd stay put. As dark descended, we cut a tree and laid the heavy trunk across the south end of the canyon. Now, up on the north end, we had another trunk ready to be lowered by rope. And we were waiting.
Maybe they not come tonight. Very cold.
Then we wait the next night. And the next.
You patient man, Kimasabi. Me just cold.
Sounds like things might warm up, Tonto. Listen. They swept into the canyon like a whirlwind, riding hard, whooping like Indians. Their feathered headdresses flew in the wind, their upraised arms brandishing rifles. They sure look like Cheyenne.
Oh, self-respecting Cheyenne ride saddle and wear spurs.
We'll soon know. They're reaching a tree at the end, Tonto. Now, Tonto, the other tree. Let's go the road. All right, down there. Stand steady.
Who's that? Up there, Matt!
Oh, my hand!
I told you not to move.
Okay, partner. What goes?
You tell him, Tonto.
You in heap trouble, Big Chief Tomahawk Hatchet Face. You trapped in canyon, way up here in dark behind rocks. You have no way escape. You look like members of tribe sitting ducks.
In other words, throw down your arms.
Who says?
The Lone Ranger say.
And hurry up about it. That's better. Okay, Tonto, let's hog-tie these critters. They were a forlorn-looking bunch of fake Indians as we led them back through the canyon and in the direction of the nearest marshal. Their leader, a red-bearded man with steely blue eyes, rode second from point behind Tonto. There was something familiar about him. You must be Big Chief Matt Matthews.
Don't annoy me, Ranger.
You annoy me, though.
Tough.
You annoy me because I think I've seen you before, but the name doesn't fit. Maybe I never knew your name.
You've been drinking too much cactus juice, Ranger.
Still and all, I'm sure... Hold it. Hold it, Tonto.
What's the matter with you?
Bryant's Gap.
What?
Bryant's Gap. Years ago.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kimasabi.
How many years has it been, Tonto? I've lost count. But my memory for a face doesn't fail me. Take a good look, Tonto. Matt Matthews rode with Butch Cavendish at Bryant's Gap.
All right, Ranger. Go ahead and kill me if it'll do your heart good. I ain't scared.
No, Matthews, I'm not going to kill you. Maybe the law will, but not me. We'll just get you to the authorities. Even a man like you is entitled to a trial.
You show great mercy, Kimasabi. Myself, I would wonder.
I'm wondering too, Tonto. But we'll leave it to the law. Tell me something, Matthews. Where's Butch Cavendish?
I ain't seen him for 2 years.
Think again.
I'm telling you, Ranger, I ain't seen him. I swear. I'll swear on a stack of Bibles.
You would. Okay, Tonto, let's move. We found out later that his name wasn't really Matt Matthews. It was Ned Slocum. He was wanted in 3 states, and the law was glad to get its hands on him. After he was safely in jail, Tonto and I returned to the Lazy Horseshoe.
You sure you two won't stay on?
No, thanks, Mr. Peters. Tonto and I have work to do.
We don't know how to thank you, folks.
Before we go, one favor.
Anything you say.
The darkness of night descends. The campfires will be lit.
I get it, Tonto. You want music. What'll it be?
As you choose.
Here's a favorite of mine.
Butch Cavendish is out there someplace, Tonto. We're finally coming closer.
Yes, Kimasabi. There is much badness in the world.
We'll get moving soon.
And there is goodness, too. Music is good. And a man must rest sometimes and gather his strength again.
Yes, Tonto. I understand.